What's up, YouTube? It's Filthy Casual. Thank you so much for watching my Minnesota Timberwolves video. That has now become the most viewed channel video on my channel, over 100 views. So thank you so much for watching that, and also thank you to Masai and Shay for your comments on my channel. Much appreciated for the interaction and for the kind words about my video. Now we're gonna talk about the Washington Wizards. So probably not gonna get a ton of views, but I mean I don't get a ton of ways, so why that? We're gonna start off. The depth chart looks a little bit something like this. We have Monte Morris as their point guard, Bradley Beal as their shooting guard, uh, Kyle Kuzma as their power forward, Will Barton as their small forward, Kristaps Porzingis as their center. So I think the one thing that's a little bit underrated about the Wizards is that they actually do have a decent starting lineup. I think they do have a lot of talent per se, but I think it's just a matter of it meshing. Now, what do I mean like that? Here, I'll put the right there. Cool. Now what do I mean by this? Well, Monte Morris solid defensively. Uh, Kyle Kuzma, not so great defense. Will Barton's all right defensively, but he's a little bit undersized for a three. I think 6'5" is a little bit on the small side for the position. I would say the average is around the average is around 6'5", but you know, generally speaking, these teams tend to prefer these longer, bigger wings, but Will Barton can knock down a three for you on a consistent basis, which is big, especially considering Bradley Beal, not a great three-point shooter. Al Kuzma, he's streaky. Uh, Porzingis, he's good for like a long-range bomb, like once a game, but like his actual three-point shooting is like kind of unimpressive considering where he was earlier in his career. He was like 35%, now he's at like 31%. It's like not, it's a little bit sad. I'm just double checking. Yeah, he was at 39% his last year in New York, and he's at 30. Well, actually, this is different from what I was looking at earlier. Well, it says he shot 36% in Washington over his games there, 17 games there last year, but he shot 28% Dallas, which is not good. But he's a center. However, when you're a thin, lanky center that's supposed to bring defense and shooting, and you can't shuffle your feet anymore and your shooting's worse, your value slips. Now, I'm saying this, he's still averaging like 20 points per game. Amazing. But, it's he's not he's not the Kristaps Porzingis we had hoped he would be when he was in New York. What I'm saying. I should know there, although I'm wearing my net shirt. Forgot that I had this on. But yeah, uh he's a good player, but not really moving the needle that much for you. So as far as the starting unit, I think it's going to go as far as Bradley Beal and Kyle Kuzma, which is kind of weird to say. I think Kyle Kuzma actually might be the second best player on the roster. Kyle Kuzma, I think, got a lot of flack in the Lake when he was a Laker because he was playing with LeBron. Everybody gets a ton of flack when they play with LeBron. I guess AD, and there was a lot of eyes on him, and they were a championship level team, and they wanted Kuzma to be a third guy. They wanted him to score, an efficient 20 points per game and, all this other stuff. And they were asking him to do it in a way that wasn't, you know, something that was in his wheelhouse. And I think since he's been in Washington, it's been a really good thing for his career. He started putting up these big rebound numbers. He's averaging 8.5 rebounds in Washington, which is, at least two more from anywhere else in his career. Although he's only played for the Lakers, but you know what I mean. He's averaging more rebounds. He's averaging more assists. He's better defensively. He's playing like he's 6'9", which is big for his team because that's what they need compared to LeBron and AD taking up all that paint space and Kuzma being relegated to a 6'9" shooter, which he can do, but is not his. That's not necessarily what he's great at. He's a 34% career shooter. His best year was 36%, right? That's the best year he's had. So again, they've got streaky shooting, consistent shooting around Bradley Beal, who's also not a great shooter. However, they do have a lot of talent. So, and a lot of defensive and rebounding upside so far. At least that's what I think. I should have double checked this beforehand, but I do believe that the Washington Wizards one tended to win their rebounding wars. I don't have the stats in front of me, but that is what I seem to recall looking at last season. Recall checking that out during the regular season and that being at some point. But either way, when I think this team gets really interesting when you look at their second unit. I think the second unit of the Washington Wizards has a lot of offensive upside, right? They've got Denny Avdia, Johnny Davis, and Rui Hachimura. Now, Rui's a little bit inconsistent offensively, but Denny, lockdown defender, he's great. I wouldn't be surprised if he takes over Will Barton's starting spot at some point, just because he adds more size to that starting lineup, which I think that starting lineup would benefit immensely from. He's a great defender. He's a good, not great, 3-point shooter. He can knock down a three. And while his handle is inconsistent, he's a good passer. If you give this guy the ball, he will make a good pass, and he's going to be efficient with it. Not going to turn the ball over a ton as long as he's not dribbling too much. So I think that Denny Avdia is going to be a strong contender to break into that starting lineup for the Washington Wizards and really make a difference on this team in the win column. Now, the other player that I think has the opportunity to do that is Johnny Davis. He's going to be a strong offensive spark plug for them off the bench, and I think that combined with Bradley Beal getting maybe more minutes to rest because of the offensive output of Johnny Davis could be big for the Wizards, because when Bradley Beal's not out there, their offense is a little bit. And when Bradley Beal's out there, maybe at some points in time, Johnny Davis can add a, additional ball handling, scoring touch. Now, Monte Morris is really good, and I think you'd probably want to run him at the point guard or the one or the two guard, with Bradley Beal playing the one, because he's gonna have the ball in his hands more. Combo guard stuff. So it's gonna be interesting how they do that. Now they also have Taj Gibson, who was a Knick, and I have to say still has got something left in the tank. The dude plays well whenever he plays. That dude knows exactly what to do. He knows exactly what needs to get done. He plays great defense. I would not be surprised if he took a decent chunk of Daniel Gafford's minutes. I wouldn't be surprised if they were running him at the power forward, because Taj Gibson, I think, is also only 6'9", although he does play center. And that's just a testament to how good of a veteran he is. So this team does have some decent. I mean, granted, Taj Gibson is 1,000 years old in NBA years at this point, and he's not going to. He's somebody that you're not going to put in the game unless you need something to change. So his signing tells me two things. They want to compete for a play-in spot. I think they believe that they can, and I think it's not crazy for them to sneak into the play-in, but I don't necessarily know if they're competing for much more than that unless someone like Denny Avdia or Rui Hachimura or Johnny Davis really shows out and makes a big leap. Or I will also put in Kyle Kuzma in there, because Kuzma, I think, played the best basketball of his career in Washington, and I don't necessarily think it's correct to say that he could make another leap. So their best case scenario, I think, is a play-in spot. I think their worst case scenario is, probably the more realistic thing, which is they end up just missing the play-in and they don't even get a lottery pick out of it. Basically just end up like wasting another year of Bradley Beal. But now, hey, Bradley Beal's there for forever and ever. He's got a no-trade clause, like, stuck with him. Which, to Bradley Beal's credit, hey, at least the team knows that you're committed to them. Hey, build around me. I want to win. I want to win in Washington. If you didn't want to win with me, you could have not given me the contract. Now you're stuck with me. Let's do this together. Which is, that's something to say. That is in the modern NBA, that is a statement. And especially when you're not like considered to be Giannis or Curry or LeBron or any of these guys who are generationally great. Luka. these guys. It's hard when you're not necessarily that dude or looked at as that dude to say, I want to be the number one guy, or I just want to win in the place that I was drafted. So that's that. Thank you so much for watching the video. Again, thank you so much for the comments. And yeah, leave a like, leave a subscribe, leave a comment. Straight to 1 mil. I will drink water on stream.